The 2001 NBA season is underway on the 40-year sim. I am Nutty Sports Gamer. We got some big-time storylines all coming together this season. Michael Jordan's final year. Penny Hardaway's been traded. Grant Hill and Tracy McGrady are on the same team, the Orlando Magic. That's right, the Orlando Magic have T-Mac and Grant Hill. We're going to see how that actually could happen without Grant Hill getting injured. Tons of other interesting twists and turns. We'll get into transactions, and then we'll see the rosters, and then take a look at all 29 teams that are currently in the league. We'll get a glimpse of them all. So I hope you're looking forward to that. This is going to be a crazy season. Last season was pretty damn crazy. Let's see how this season turns out. See you there. Grant Hill has been traded from the Mavericks to the Magic for 2 first-round picks, Jamal Mashburn, Al Harrington, and Jamal Magloire. And then the Magic traded Andre Karolinko and God Shamgod for some picks. Quentin Richardson went to the Magic too. Got Olden Polynice, Tyrone Hill, Rumiel Robertson traded from the Grizzlies to the Bulls to clear up cap space. Elton Brand to the 76ers as well. More cap space clearing. You'll see why soon. Bucks traded Penny Hardaway to the Clippers for Terrell Brandon, Jim Jackson, Wally Zerbiak, and 2 first-round picks. Terrell Brandon got traded to the Bucks, traded to the Cavaliers actually. Kevin Johnson to the Bucks, and then there's a huge 3-team trade, which I don't have time to read them all, but those are all the players involved in that. Scottie Pippen got traded to the Kings for 2 first-round picks. Clarence Witherspoon and Corus Williamson, Dennis Scott, Chris Gatling, Olden Polynice to the Spurs. Jamal Mashburn got traded from the Mavericks to the Hornets. Victor Alexander, Guy Rucker to the Rockets for Corliss Williamson going to the Hawks. A lot of transactions during this offseason, and if you want, you can scroll through it. Cuttino Mobley going to the Hornets. What else? Sean Elliott to the Spurs for 2 first-rounders and Dennis Scott. Mitch Richmond to the Grizzlies. And then other trades. Jason Terry to the Bucks in exchange for Kevin Johnson going to the Raptors. Clyde Drexler going to the Celtics. There were a couple of cases where... and then a big one here is Lakers getting Mookie Blaylock and Chris Morris and John Barry in exchange for Glenn Rice, Robert Pack, Kenny Smith, and a first-round pick. There are some cases where, like Mitch Richmond and Clyde Drexler, I had them get signed to teams with cap space and then traded them because no one else had cap space. So that's why you might have seen some unusual trades there, like Tom Gugliotta going back to the Sixers. That's because the Sixers ran out of cap space, and he wasn't supposed to leave the Sixers. So, but that's all that. That's transactions a lot. We'll go over all of that in more detail as we check out these games. You got Grizzlies. You got Sonics. You got Hakeem Olajuwon signed as a free agent going to the Grizzlies. Let's talk about the Sonics first, though. Abdul Rauf, Nick Anderson, Bruce Bowen, Sean Kemp, Rick Smits, Isaac Austin, Doug West still on the team. Austin is new. Sharon Wright, Robert Churchwell, Greg Anthony. The bench, is it all that great? You could argue maybe not so much, but heck of a starting 5. Grizzlies, Jason Williams, Vince Carter, Jalen Rose, Keith Van Horn, and Hakeem Olajuwon is on the Grizzlies. Mitch Richmond coming off the bench for the Grizz. Terrence Rencher. It's funny, this Corey Maggette is also on the team. It's funny because this Grizzlies team, they're going to Memphis next year, but they might be a playoff team this year. Their final year in Vancouver, as we see Vince Carter missing a shot there, Hakeem making the bucket there for the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies were offering more to Hakeem than the Rockets were. The Rockets kind of starting a rebuild officially, and Hakeem exited the team and left for the Grizzlies. And as you see here, there's a 2-pointer by Bruce Bowen. Vince Carter with a jumper there. 6-4 early on. How about Nick Anderson with the layup? Not much defense there. Checking out a replay. Where is the D here? Vince Carter. Not. What was that? He should have guarded him better than that. How about a three by, I think that was Jalen Rose. 8-7 early on. I don't know if we see the end of this game. How about Vince Carter, though, with the dunk in transition. Rick Smits to Bruce Bowen for three. That is good. Both teams look pretty solid early on in this game. Tied at 11. Abdul Ralph. He's going to pull up for the three-pointer right there. Let's see if this game stays close. It looks like the Grizzlies... Okay, let's check it out. 84-75. Rick Smits turns around, makes that jumper for Seattle. Vince Carter fires back with a three. 8-point game. Nick Anderson to Rick Smits. Smitty to Duncan Dutchman with that shot right there. And a three-point play. And then Sean Kemp, double teamed, throws it to Bruce Bowen for the three. 12-point game now, 5:40 left to go. A nice pass, Nick Anderson. Missed shot though, Rick Smits gets the putback. And this game is over. The Supersonics beat the Grizzlies in the opening game of the season. 109-88, the final score there. And both teams look pretty good. The Sonics, you know, they got that experience. They got playoff experience. They got chemistry together. And we'll see how the Grizzlies look with Hakeem. I'm sure we'll be jumping into plenty of Grizzlies games. They are definitely interesting. And, yeah, the Rockets, they've broken up a bit. Drexler's no longer in Houston. Hakeem is no longer in Houston, so it's going to be interesting. As you see, the Charlotte Hornets now, Eric Snow, Michael Jordan, Jamal Mashburn now as their starting small forward. Terry Mills, Brad Daugherty, Rashard Lewis coming off the bench, Katino Mobley. And this is Michael Jordan's farewell tour. This is his final year. It's happening right off the bat, making it clear. This is going to be a running theme all throughout the season is his retirement. As you see, the Bulls, Derek Anderson, Andre Karolinko, Ramil Robinson, Alan Henderson, J.R. Reed. Not a great roster, but they have Karolinko. That's the one guy. That's the one guy you can point to and say, that's a guy you could build around. As you see, MJ making a jump shot there and there. So it might be his final year, but he is going to go out, hopefully, go out strong. As we see a layup there by Derek Anderson. Get another look at this. And have you noticed, guys, noticed the new graphics and the clearer image? Is it just me or is the image crystal clear? The colors are popping. That teal Hornets uniform is really popping. And then you got the ESPN scoring bug on the corner. So 2001, it's a lot different now. Things look different in this sim as we see a three-pointer there. I believe that was Derek Anderson. How about J.R. Reed with a bucket there? And should mention, I think I glossed over it when we were looking at the transactions, as we see a dunk there by Terry Mills. Charles Oakley and J.R. Reed got traded from the Knicks to the Bulls. So that's going to be not interesting, but it's going to be interesting for the Knicks anyway. And then I think Danny Manning is now on the Knicks. So here we have a dunk, putback dunk by Terry Mills. We're in the fourth quarter now, as we see a dunk from the Bulls, Derek Anderson. Brad Daugherty with a basket there, 73-72. The Hornets with the lead. If you remember, early on last season, as Terry Mills gets that dunk, early on last season, the Bulls actually beat the Hornets in one of my videos. Bulls versus Jordan. So we'll see if Jordan can get his revenge on this Bulls team. As you J.R. Reed making a bucket there for Chicago, a team that I expect to be quite bad as MJ makes his jumper. You know, I mean, they should be especially bad this season, maybe even worse than last season. Derek Anderson with a dunk, though. He is one of the bright spots. Derek Anderson is one of the bright spots on this team. But there's a steal. Jamal Mashburn. He's going to pull up for the three. And, yeah, you know, they got two legit stars. Obviously MJ, but Jamal Mashburn is the second star for the Hornets. Hopefully he can elevate them as we see Eric Snow with a 3-pointer there. Hopefully, he could be the extra thing that they need to actually win the championship this season. See MJ with a jump shot there. And a nice dunk there by MJ. The 37-year-old can still throw it down. Ramil Robinson to JRE for 3? No. But Brad Doherty with the rebound. And it's safe to say this game is over. Do we have one more highlight to show you? We might. We just might. How about Michael Jordan with the jumper to close things out in this game? He is excited to win this game in Chicago, where he won 6 championships. Michael Jordan with 38 points in this game, 14 for Jamal Mashburn. He at this point in his career, I feel like he needs a legit number 2 in the scoring category, and I'm hoping that's what Jamal Mashburn could be for the Hornets. Nets, Trailblazers. Again, I love the new graphics that we got to work with. Steve Nash, Vashawn Leonard, Shawn Marion now in the starting lineup, Antonio McDyess, Ilgauskas, get Chris Mullin, Rick Chapman coming off the bench, D. Brown, Irvin Johnson, Jeff McInnes. Solid team. Shawn Marion's development is still something we're focusing on with the Nets. Damon Sotomayor, Kendall Gill, Sharif Abdur-Rahim, Rasheed Wallace, Jason Williams, Rip Hamilton, and kind of like the Nets. The focus for the Blazers is development of Rip Hamilton, and depending on how things go, I see a lot of potential with Richard Hamilton becoming the starting 2 guard sooner than later, which means eventually moving Kendall Gill. But for now, that is the team. We got a bucket and a foul, Jason Williams, right there, and then we got Rasheed Wallace with the ball. We're in Portland. Sharif to Damon Stoudemire for 3. That is golden. 5-4 very early on. We got almost, there it is, a steal. Vashawn Leonard picks up the ball with the fast break. We got McDyess with the dunk for the Nets. How about Steve Nash receiving the pass from Ilgauskas, I should say. Nash with the long 2. Nice to see Nash. Hopefully we see more Nash this season. I can't make any promises, though. Shawn Marion with the basket there off glass. Nice to see Shawn Marion also. Check out him calling for the ball, making the basket. And now we got Steve Nash with this bucket there for the Nets. 81-77. It's the 4th quarter. Damon Stoudemire is going to missed that jumper. And Rasheed Wallace with the putback right there. And then Sharif Abdur-Rahim to Kendall Gill for the 2. And the Nets have the Blazers have an 8-point lead. Damon Stoudemire to Rasheed. I feel the need for Rasheed. And then we got Vashawn Leonard with that jumper for the Nets, but the Blazers seem to have this one under control. As we see Rasheed yet again in the post, guarded by Nash. That's a mistake. And the Blazers will win this game in Portland. 97-89 is the final score there. 29 for Rasheed Wallace, 23 and 13 for Tony McDyess. What a game. 16 and 10 for Steve Nash, 10 assists. 10 and 11 for Ilgauskas, 11 rebounds. So that is that game. What are we going to do next? Nuggets, Raptors, and again, I just love the way these colors are popping in the new era. The image looks more clear than it has looked in the past 2 eras. And we got Mike Bibby, starting point guard for the Raptors, Dave Marley, Joe Smith, Antoine Walker, Ben Wallace, Kevin Johnson, Danielle Marshall, Bobby Phills. No T-Mac. Tracy McGrady is no longer on the Raptors. Just like in real life, he is gone. And also, I made sure I finally changed Ben Wallace's number to 3. Shouldn't have been 11 or whatever it was. Kenny Smith is now the starter for the Nuggets. Steve Smith, Glenn Rice, Christian Laettner, Oliver Miller, Robert Pack, Steven Jackson is on the team. Remember, he was involved in a trade that saw Dikembe Mutombo go to the Bucks. And Steve Jackson is now on the Nuggets. So that's the Nuggets. Nuggets are kind of a weird team right now. They're hoping to, they're just kind of see how things go. Can they be a playoff team? Are they a team that's selling? Maybe. I don't know. We'll see how things go for the Nuggets. They're a wait and see team. The Raptors kind of are too. I'm not quite sure what the Raptors are going to look like this season. They're kind of a wild card. As we see, getting the Jet Smith with that dunk, he's still got something left in the tank. Then you got Christian Laettner with that jumper. Joe Smith up against Glenn Rice. Makes that basket there. Kenny Jet Smith fakes out Mike Bibby and makes that jumper. 8-4. Mike Bibby with the long two. That's good. You know what I was thinking about? Kenny Jet Smith, Barkley, and Shaq are on the league as Kenny Jet Smith makes that three. So inside the NBA, I'm thinking it would be like Kevin McHale, Isaiah Thomas, and Magic Johnson. That's what I think is probably the inside the NBA panel at this point. As we see Ben Wallace with that dunk right there. Christian Laettner passing it to, who is that? Steve Smith, of course. Steve Smith. And we got Oliver Miller to Glenn Rice. Toe was on the line. That was a two. Nuggets look good. 85-79 now, though. So the Raptors are able to catch up in the fourth. And there's a three there. I think that was Steve Smith again. Or maybe I think that was Kenny Jet Smith, actually. 88-79. Mike Bibby to Joe Smith. Makes such a lot of Smiths. A lot of Smiths in this game. Steve Smith this time with that basket over Mike Bibby. 91-89. Christian Laettner to Steve Smith with that with that miss, I should say. Antoine Walker with the rebound. Dan Marley, Thunder Dan, Old Man Dan, I should say, these days. Mike Bibby with that missed jumper, but Ben Wallace is right there, tapping it in. And now we got almost a steal. Oliver Miller throws it to the wrong guy, so that's not great. That's not what you want to do. And how about a long two by Antoine Walker? 91-85. This game is not over yet. The Raptors have some fight left in them. Glenn Rice, though, makes that three for the Nuggets. And that should do it. 25 points for Kevin Johnson off the bench. Man, he's still got the goods. Antoine Walker, 24 points. He left Minnesota. But the only team that really wanted to offer him anything was the Raptors, because they lost Trace McGrady. We'll see how that works out for Toronto. Whether or not they regret signing Antoine Walker to a 4-year deal. They might. Or they might not. Cavaliers, Pacers. I think the Cavaliers have a really interesting team. But let's check out the Pacers first. Michael Williams still there. Still a bit overrated. Michael Finley, Derek McKee, Karl Malone, Eric Dampier. Pretty much the same team. Pretty much the same. I think it's the same starting five, at least. Get Jay Edwards coming off the bench. Ed Horton, Corey Alexander, and some other guys. But, yeah, pretty similar team to last year. Terrell Brandon, Reggie Miller, Roy Marble, LaFonso Ellis, Dale Davis, Tyrone Hill, Eldon Campbell, Tony Kukoc, Matt Maloney, Hubert Davis, Marshall Lonis. Cavaliers have a pretty interesting team. I feel like they have a lot of depth, and so I'm really curious to see if they're able to step things up as the Reggie Miller era comes almost to a close. As we're in Indiana, Karl Malone's going to miss that basket, but Eric Dampier is right there for the putback. Reggie Miller's going to make a jump shot for the Cavaliers. And now we have Derek McKee passing it to Michael Finley for the missed jumper. Karl Malone gets the dunk for the Pacers. 6-4 early on. Reggie Miller with the long two. That's a miss. Dale Davis with the putback for the Cavaliers. It's tied game at 6. Reggie Miller with the steal and the three in transition. I believe he has the most threes in NBA history. As we see another three for the Pacers. 9-9. Reggie Miller misses. Dale Davis with he gets blocked, actually. And let's see if this game remains competitive. Would love to see more of it. Although this is a pretty full episode I don't like going beyond an hour in my episodes. 59 minutes, 45 seconds is pretty much the absolute maximum of what a 40-year sim episode should be, but we have so much to show in this episode. Terrell Brennan with 32 points in this game. In the loss, the Pacers win. And let's move on to Jazz Rockets. Jazz are an up-and-coming team. I want to focus on them a lot more in the next episode. I hope we get to see more of them. Steve Francis is the starting point guard. Kerry Kittles, signed in free agency. Anton Jamison, small forward. Kenyon Martin, the rookie, at power forward. And you got Lorenzen Wright at center. Eldridge Rakasner coming off the bench. George King and Newbill. So that's the team. That's the Jazz team. The Rockets are in this weird situation. Rod Strickland, Harold Miner, Robert Horry, Victor Alexander, Stacey King, Charles Barkley. I imagine this team will be much different come February. The Rockets have some first-round picks, but they don't have their own pick in 2001. So they're going to try and see if they can become a playoff team this year, but if things go awry, this is going to be very much a selling team. Barkley is there, but he won't be there for long. I would imagine, as well as many of these other players. I expect them to be traded. So Rockets are just kind of a weird team with a bunch of players I expect to be traded at some point. We see Robert Horry with that 3. As they build up their arsenal of picks and start a rebuild in the post-Hakeem era. There's a layup there. Check out a replay of Kerry Kittles, new to the Jazz. He's been bouncing around the league. I'm hoping that Kerry Kittles has found his home in Utah. Rod Strickland with a 3-pointer there for Houston as he builds his trade value. Steve Francis, the nice layup. Steve Francis, this bit of a disappointing year, his rookie year, but he has a nice pass there to Kenyon Martin for the basket. And I'm telling the Jazz could be interesting. This could be a very interesting team pretty soon, although they just gave up a layup right there. Not nice. I think that was Victor Alexander. Steve Francis, though, makes a basket there. So you got a scorer in Steve Francis. You get Kerry Kittles, who's a reliable 3-and-D guy, as Robert Horry makes that jump shot. We got to get Robert Horry to a championship caliber team as Harold Miner makes that 3. Because right now, Robert Horry only has 1 ring, and he had 7 rings in real life. So we gotta fix that. As Robert Horry gets that dunk there, because this Rockets team is definitely not a championship team. They might not even be a playoff team. As we see, 83-80 now is the score in the fourth quarter. 4.5 minutes left to go in the game. Rod Strickland with the floater there, making it a 1-point game. See a replay. Rod Strickland, he makes baskets. He's a solid point guard, but so far in the sim, he hasn't really been known to elevate teams. As we see Steve Francis with that dunk right there for the Jazz. And then here's a missed basket and a make there by Jamison. Francis to Kerry Kittles going up baseline, pass to Jamison for the basket there, 89-82. There's a 3-pointer. I think that was Rod Strickland, 89-85. Steve Francis fires back with a jumper. 6-point game. Rod Strickland is going to miss that shot, but a putback dunk there for the Rockets. 6-point game. Francis misses. Harold Miner can't hit. And we got probably intentional foul. No. Lorenzen Wright with a dunk there. That should do it. 23 points for Jamison, 21 points for Steve Francis. That is what I'm looking for out of Steve Francis this season. Some more scoring, and he had some nice passes too. And he felt like he was more of a floor general than maybe he was last year. As we see, it's a nice look at Kenyon Martin. I don't think I've ever had a Jazz player be the thumbnail, and I don't know if it's going to give me a lot of clicks, but I think it's only right that eventually I have a Jazz player as a thumbnail of my video. Maybe it's Kenyon Martin. Maybe it is, because he was number 1 pick of the year, and he's on a very interesting Jazz team. Mookie Blaylock, Kobe Bryant, Chris Morris, Horace Grant. They got out of free agency. Shaq. Interesting bench. John Barry, Rick Fox, Derek Fisher, Purvis Ellison, Malik Sealy. Really like the team, top to bottom for the Lakers. And you got the Suns, Sam Cassell, Blue Edwards, Dennis Scott, Randy White, Theo Ratliff, Antonio Daniels, Austin Crozier, Rafe LaFrentz, Willie Burton. Solid team. They traded Sean Elliott because this team really isn't going anywhere. They got new uniforms, but this team is kind of in 40 and 42 land at this point. You see Randy White making that shot. And so it made sense to trade Sean Elliott while his value was still pretty high, and the Spurs coveted him. They're desperate to make a championship run, so it made sense to send him there for a couple of picks. As we see Kobe Bryant making this layup here for the Lakers. 3-2 early on. Shaq, double team, doesn't matter. Makes that basket. How about a steal for the Lakers? Chris Morris passing it to Shaq for the dunk. You know, Chris Morris, Mookie Blaylock, you know, these are two guys. I've seen Mookie missing a three. I feel like these are two guys, along with Horace Grant, that can really complement Shaq and Kobe while also allowing Shaq and Kobe to get their buckets. As we see a three there for the Phoenix Suns. Shaq to Kobe. The shot off glass. Blue Edwards gets blocked by Shaq. And then we have a missed three. Randy White is going to get the dunk right there for the Phoenix Suns. Dennis Scott with the basket. Shaq to Chris Morris. No good. But Shaq can't get the putback after several tries. 6:43 left to go. Let's see if the Suns can answer. After that, Randy White does get a basket there. 101-95. Shaq can't get the basket there. But there's a three by Kobe. 104-95. Still plenty of time left. And Shaq is going to make that shot for the Lakers. 11-point game. Blue Edwards with the three. Hold the phone. This game is not over yet. Mookie Blaylock gets stolen. Strip search in Phoenix. And we got a pass to Randy White for the dunk. And another steal. Another steal. Fast break. Randy White again. This is a guy who only was in the league for 4 years in real life, and he's becoming a heck of a player for the Suns. We have a missed three, though, by Sam Cassell. The Lakers with the ball back. There's a three by Mookie Blaylock. That's why you trade for him. And how about Dennis Scott firing back with his own three? 2:16 left to go. 109-105 is the score. Mookie Blaylock to Shaq for the dunk. 6-point game. Sam Cassell to Dennis 3D Scott. So it's a 3-point game. Chris Morris to Kobe Bryant. He fires back with a three. Some interesting fireworks here. Theo Ratliff. I don't know if I mentioned him, but he's back on the Suns. He missed a shot there. And now we have the Lakers with the ball back. Chris Morris to Horace Grant to Kobe Bryant. And Kobe Bryant with the jam. And that should do it. 118, 110, 38 for Kobe, 36 for Shaq. See, that's what I'm looking for from those guys. Averaging, close to 30 points apiece. Both of them. Dallas Mavericks, Golden State Warriors, the championship defending Warriors. Can you believe it? Jason Kidd, Allen Houston, Isaiah Rutter, Charles Shackelford is now the power forward. That can't be permanent. He's I don't know. He's there for now while we find a replacement for him, or a replacement for Horace Grant. Horace Grant left the Warriors for the Lakers, so now the Warriors have to eventually replace Horace Grant. Right now they have a stopgap power forward. Brent Barry's off the bench. What else? AC Green, who was on the Grizzlies last year. The Mavericks, they're not one of those weird teams. Mark Price, Jerry Stackhouse, Roy Rogers, Larry Johnson, Carlos Rogers, Tim Legler, Tony Delk, Wesley Person. They have a lot of interesting young players. Al Harrington, Turkoglu, and Jamal Magloire. Mike Miller as well. So they got a lot of interesting young players in their team. And they're going to be slowly phasing out the veterans and old players at some point, whether it's this season or if it's next offseason. Uh, I expect the team to go fully young. But for now, there's Larry Johnson making the basket for the Dallas Mavericks. Kind of a not so great tenure with the Mavericks, I would say. Overall, Larry Johnson's career in this sim has been kind of a shrug. He's had some good seasons, some good stats, individual stats, but as far as his career, it's been kind of like whatever. He's made the playoffs like twice. I don't think he's made it past the second round in his career. I don't think he actually. I'm pretty sure he hasn't. So it's been kind of a, kind of a shrug-worthy career for Larry Johnson, which is a shame. He was grandmama in real life, and then he played for the Knicks. Made it to the finals with the Knicks. So yeah, it's kind of sad that this is what Larry Johnson's career turned out in this sim as he dunks the ball there, and then a stolen pass there. Jerry Stackhouse throwing it to the wrong guy, and then Jason Kidd making him pay with that bucket in transition. And just as Larry Johnson's been disappointing, Jason Kidd's career in this sim has been pretty awesome. I gotta say, helping Oakland win the championship. The boy from Oakland doing it. So see Larry Johnson, another dunk there for LJ. Allen Houston, meanwhile, makes that three. It's 14-8. Let's see if this game stays close. Looks like the Mavericks are going to go ahead and beat the Warriors. So that's a nice little preview, nice little glimpse at both teams. I don't know how many times we're going to be seeing the Mavericks. We'll see if they stay good. 21 points for Turkoglu in 11 minutes. Man. I mean, that's something to keep an eye on. Let's see if maybe he deserves to start sooner than we thought. Knicks, Celtics are in Boston. Charlie Ward, John Starks, Latrell Sprewell, Anthony Mason, Patrick Ewing, Mark Jackson, Danny Manning. Who else? No Charles Oakley. We got Kevin Edwards. We got Walt Williams and Jamal Williams. I think that's what Jerome Williams. Kenny Anderson, Ray Allen is the Celtics. Paul Pierce, Lamar Odom now starting. Brian Grant, Luke Longley, Billy Owens, Rafer Alston, Clyde Drexler, Dwayne Shinsius, Malik Rose. Yeah. And I changed Lamar Odom's number. I don't like him as 30. 30 feels weird. So he wore number 7 his whole career, but Kenny Anderson's number 7. And he's got seniority, so I decided to give him number 2, which seems like an okay number for Lamar Odom to have. So let's go with that. Patrick Ewing with the basket there for the Knicks. As we see Lamar Odom receiving the pass in the post. He makes a shot for the Celtics. 3-2, very early on. Almost a steal there, but Paul Pierce gets the basket. The Celtics are a very interesting team. Feels like they have a pretty damn good starting five, a group of young players. We'll see if they can really come together. See a missed three-point attempt there for the Knicks. Celtics with the ball back. And we got Brian Grant with the layup for the Celtics. Checking out a replay of Brian Grant receiving this pass and making the basket. On the Knicks side of things, Patrick Ewing is pretty much nearing the end. As you see Charlie Ward making a 3 there, I saw his player status late last year, and I thought he was going to retire. As you see a jump shot there by Lamar Odom. Baseline, Paul Pierce. Passing it to Brian Grant for the basket there. So yeah, I thought Ewing was going to retire after last season, but he didn't. So I see this as like one last go around with this team, and then Ewing's going to retire. And probably, I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Mark Jackson makes a 3, or Latrell Sprewell makes a 3 there. I haven't decided whether or not to try to move ahead with Latrell Sprewell as the main star and try to retool around Latrell Sprewell, or should we just go full rebuild mode? Because there's a lot of old guys, Mark Jackson, John Starks, Anthony Mason, a bunch of old guys on this team. So, and I think some of them I think some of them have a couple of years left in their contracts. So I don't know. It's going to be tough to really build around Latrell we got some old guys with the contracts that they have. So a total rebuild is not out of the question, and you can use the Trail Sprewell as a trade piece to really bring back a lot of assets. So there's a good reason to do that. Let's move on though. Khaled Reeves, Tracy McGrady, Grant Hill, Vin Baker, Kurt Thomas is the starting five for the Magic. You got Spencer, Scott Burrell, and Mom Murray. The bench isn't all that great, and that's going to be one of the problems with the Heat or the Magic is their bench. Gary Payton, Petrovic, Clifford Robinson, P.J. Brown, Alonzo Mourning is the starting five for the Heat. Got David Wesley, Eric Murdoch, and some bench players there. So very intriguing teams. I mean, the Heat is pretty much the same as last year, but the Magic though, T-Mac not playing good defense there against Alonzo Mourning. Got T-Mac and Grant Hill on the same team with Vin Baker. T-Mac with the jumper there for the Magic. Grant Hill to Khaled Reeves to Tracy McGrady for three. There you go. T-Mac. And how about Gary Payton missing? Alonzo Mourning getting the putback for Miami. Clifford Robinson makes that three. And it's 7-6. Reeves to McGrady for the dunk. And it's fun to see, as we see Clifford Robinson missing that shot, fun to see the Magic with some legit stars on their team. You know, this team, this was a sorry franchise. As we see T-Mac with the dunk right there, absolutely exploding as a star in Orlando. There's a steal by Vin Baker. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see the Magic actually be really fun. They made the playoffs last year. As we see T-Mac with that three, but now they're going. This is going to be fun. I cannot wait to show you guys so many Magic games. We'll see how this duo grows over time. And Grant Hill isn't going to get hurt. Alonzo Mourning, by the way, had like 46 points in this game. T-Mac at 26. And Grant Hill, kind of a quiet game. We didn't see him do much, but 18, 8, and 8. Not bad. There's a nice shot of Grant Hill, by the way, in a Magic uniform. And there's a nice shot of T-Mac. That maybe I can use those screenshots together to be one thumbnail. But yeah, I'm really excited about this. I'm really excited for this duo. You know, they're one of those, the biggest what if in NBA history. One of the biggest, I would say, is this duo. The duo that never really was. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out. As the 76ers, pretty much same lineups last year. Same thing with the Heat. The Sixers have Nick Van Exel, Eddie Jones, Glenn Big Dog Robinson, Elton Brand is starting power forward. You have Marcus Camby. And the Heat have Allen Iverson and Chauncey Billups in the backcourt. Then you got, as we see, a two-pointer there for the Sixers. Bonzi Wells is starting small forward for the Hawks, and you got Tim Duncan and Dino Roger. There's a bucket there by Eddie Jones. We're in Philly. Got Elton Brand making a layup there for the Sixers. Allen Iverson gets his own layup, 6-3. Early on, Allen Iverson yet again with the ball, getting past the defenders as he dunks it. Goes baseline. Big Dog fires back with a. I think that was a long two. Is what I was trying to say. Chauncey Billups to Tim Duncan. Duncan with the basket. Checking out a replay of Tim Duncan right here, calling for the ball, receiving it, and making the most of it. Some nice moves there in the post. Billups with the layup for the Hawks. Let's move ahead. This maybe there's not much more to see from this game. I tried to show as much as possible, but we got to move on. We'll be seeing the Sixers and Hawks later on this season for sure. Let's check out Nets Wizards. Now the Wizards, they are a sorry team right now, but we need to watch them at least once this season. Andre Miller is a starting point guard. You got Damon Jones, Kenny Green, Tim Thomas, Vitaly Potapenko. Then they got God Shamgod, Derek Chivas, Scott Skiles, Derek Coleman. It was their rookie. Is there a rookie even in the starting 10? the rotation. George Mirasan. There's Jason Hart. Yeah, he's not really even in the thing. Whatever. Bad camera. I don't like this camera angle, but Antonio McDyess is going to make that put-back basket there. Now we're back to the camera angle that I prefer. Sean Leonard dribbling the ball, making the shot off glass. And yeah, this is like pretty much the only time we're ever going to see this Wizards team because they are bad. Kenny Green with that 3. And then we got Leonard with his own 3. 7 and 5. Antonio McDyess in the post. Missed net shot, getting his own rebound twice. Finally gets the basket. Bashawn Leonard passing it to McDyess. McDyess doing some stuff. Interesting. Getting the ball in the post now by Sean Marion. And McDyess makes that basket. And as we sim ahead, it looks like the Nets should win this one pretty easily. But, you know, when I say we get a glimpse at all 29 teams, I mean it, you know. So that's the Wizards. Let's move on. Pistons, Spurs. Now, these are 2 very interesting teams, 2 playoff teams. Spurs, damn it, do something. Can you get past the second round, please? Tim Hardaway, Doug Christie, Sean Elliott, Dennis Rodman, David Robinson, Len Bias coming off the bench now. Olden Polynice, Chris Gatling. It's a hell of a team. Baron Davis, Stacey Augmon, Cedric Ceballos, Kevin Garnett, Brad Miller makes the Pistons. They also got Lindsey Hunter, Hersey Hawkins, Jim McIlvain, Chris Mills, Richard Dumas. So, yeah, this Spurs team, I'm expecting, once again, big things from them. Brad Miller makes that dunk. Could Sean Elliott be the guy that pushes them over the top? We will see. David Robinson with the basket there. Dennis Rodman is another guy who was threatening to retire, but he came back for one more season. I'm almost positive he's going to retire this season. It's too bad Michael Jordan's retirement is going to overshadow everyone else who might be retiring this year. I expect a lot of big names to retire this year just because of their ages and where they're at in their careers. You see KG with a jump shot there. Tim Hardaway pulls up for the J. He misses. Dennis Rodman's there for the putback. I'm really curious to see if Dennis Rodman, he's got to make the Hall of Fame, right? He didn't make that many All-Stars, but, man, he's got a hell of a resume aside from the All-Star appearances. We see Doug Christie with that basket there. Then I wonder if he's going to be getting his jersey retired anywhere. The Bulls make most sense because he won 4 championships there, but I really don't know what's going to happen with Dennis Rodman, if he's going to make the Hall of Fame or get a jersey retired with the Pistons or the Bulls. As we see a basket there for the Pistons. 10-8. Now is the score. David Robinson gets the putback there. Now we're in the fourth quarter. 88-80. Missed shot. Then David Robinson gets that putback. 88-82. 4.5 left to go. A missed shot there, but Brad Miller with the ferocious jam. Could the Spurs come back in this game? Tim Hardaway taking the ball, making the layup. So you can't say this game is over quite yet. To see a replay of Tim Hardaway taking the ball to the hole. 7-point game, 3:09 left to go. Brad Miller inbounds pass to Kevin Garnett for 3. Whoa! Man, when KG is making threes, you got a problem. And now David Robinson does make that shot, though, for the Spurs. But they need a stop. Can they get one? Kevin Garnett says no. You cannot get one. So this game is over. The Pistons are a damn good team. The Spurs, we'll see them later. Yeah, that's that's what I'll say for now. Heat, Bucks. The Bucks no longer have Penny Hardaway. They traded him away. Chris Childs is now their temporary point guard. Jim Jackson, Manu Ginobili's out there. Dirk Nowitzki, Mutombo, Lionel Simmons, Jason Terry, Greg Ostertag, and the Heat we've seen before. So we don't have to go over their roster yet again. There's a missed shot by Alonzo Mourning. He makes a shot over Dirk right there. 4-0. We got Clifford Robinson making the layup for the Heat. They are off to a strong start already. Jim Jackson to Dirk for 3. Yes. Dirk is on the board for the season. Gotta love it. How about Jim Jackson with the layup for the Bucks? 10-5 now is the score. Gary Payton with the basket there. The 12-6 game. Got a screen and then a 3 for Gary Payton. 15-6. Now we're jumping into the fourth quarter. 87-83. Alonzo Mourning with the basket there for the Heat. 6-point game. David Wesley's out there. Nice, interesting backcourt between him and Gary Payton both being out there at the same time. Alonzo Mourning spins, makes that basket for the Heat. 6-point game, though. Now, 4:16 left to go. Dirk to Lionel Simmons. And Simmons back to Dirk for the jumper. That's good. 4-point game. Cannot count out the Bucks just yet. Dirk with another jumper. So it's a 2-point game. Clifford Robinson makes that basket, though, for the Heat. And then we have Jim Jackson with a 3. 93-92. Gary Payton to Alonzo Mourning. Makes the layup there. 95-92. Gary Payton with a 3. No, sir. 43 seconds left to go. The Bucks have a chance to tie this game or make it a 1-point game. Jim Jackson will tie it. He will tie it. 95-95. And they have the ball back now. Chris Childs to Dirk. Almost steps out of bounds. Dirk to Chris Childs for 3. Yes! 98-95. Can the Heat respond? Petrovic. Great look, but no. That's it. The Bucks beat the Heat. Penny who? Chris Childs was able to get a game-winning 3 right there for the Bucks. As we see, Dirk Nowitzki's numbers are skyrocketing this season early on. And let's check out the Wolves versus the Grizzlies now. Stephon Marbury, Ron Harper, Brian Russell, Jermaine O'Neal, Antonio Davis. You know, I decided to move O'Neal to power forward because that's where he played most of his career. And Antonio Davis, I feel like that's a hell of a front court. Then you got Sean Bradley coming off the bench, Ron Artest, who I eventually see replacing Brian Russell. Probably by next year. We'll give Brian Russell another year with the. We'll see how that goes. And if you notice, yeah, Stephon Marbury, we have him playing 48 minutes. You want to know why? Because that's what it's going to take for this Wolves team to make the damn playoffs. I am sick of it. I am sick and tired of them missing the playoffs. It's about damn time. So, that's just, come on, guys. This is a good team. I'm tired of it. They're making the playoffs this year, damn it. I'm hoping so anyway. They're playing the Grizzlies. Vince Carter makes that jumper for Vancouver. Jason Williams, meanwhile, passing to Vince Carter. And then Carter to Rose to Williams to Carter again. Makes the long 2, 7-0 early on. Vince Carter misses the 3. Jermaine O'Neal with the rebound. Stephon Marbury makes that 3 right there, and the Wolves are on the board for the season. Ron Harper can't make that 3, but Antonio Davis is there for the putback. 7-5. Grizzlies still with the lead. Hakeem Olajuwon. The pass to Jalen Rose. 9-5 now. Jermaine O'Neal with the bucket for the Wolves. Stephon Marbury to Brian Russell. Can't make that 3, but Jermaine O'Neal's right there for the putback. Tie game early on, and we are going to the fourth quarter, folks. 101-94. Brian Russell to Stephon Marbury for the 3. Do not count out the Wolves just yet in this game. Jermaine O'Neal up against Keith Van Horn. He makes that basket for the Wolves. It's 103-99. Jermaine O'Neal is now going to make this jumper. 2-point game. Vince Carter to Jason Williams to Jalen Rose for 3. No good. Hakeem with the putback for Vancouver. Vancouver Grizzlies legend Hakeem. And then we got Stephon Marbury. He's going to make... Nope. Missed the shot. Jermaine O'Neal with the eventual putback. There you go. 105, 103. 4:45 left to go. Jalen Rose with the layup there. Jermaine O'Neal up against Keith Van Horn. Now it's a 2-point game. Vancouver still with the lead. Jason Williams, white chocolate, makes that jumper for Vancouver. Jermaine O'Neal with that shot over Keith Van Horn. 109-107. How about a missed jumper there by Old Man Hakeem? Wolves with the ball back. Marbury makes that shot over Keith Van Horn. Tie game. 109-109. Stephon Marbury misses the three. 118 left to go. We got Jason Williams to Vince Carter for the jumper baseline. 111-109. Stephon Marbury with the long two. That is no good. The Grizzlies. Vince Carter to Keith Van Horn. What a play. Fun fact, I met Keith Van Horn in real life. I'm just going to say that right now. Maybe one day I'll tell you a story about that. But I met Keith Van Horn. So I don't mean to brag or anything. Of all the NBA players to meet. I mean, that's still pretty cool, right? On the coolness scale, maybe that's like a 3 or a 4. Vince Carter missing that shot right there. I say that way too much now. I don't know how to stop. It's a problem. Stephon Marbury to Brian Russell. Back to Marbury for 3. Yes! Tie game in Vancouver. See all the empty seats? That's why this team is moving to Memphis. And we got Olajuwon with that basket. 115, 113. 20 seconds left to go. Can the Wolves pull off another big shot? Marbury to Russell to O'Neal. Back to Marbury for 3. Yes! Coming in the clutch. But Vince Carter has the ball. Oh, that's not a good shot. Yeah. Give it to Hakeem. He doesn't know. He doesn't know yet. Hakeem is the one who was clutch. He could have passed to Hakeem in the post. He would have made the game-winning shot. I'm almost sure of it. I don't care how old he is. He would have done that. But you know what? Vince Carter didn't know. You know, their chemistry isn't there yet, you know? But 40 points for Stephon Marbury. Played 48 minutes. 15 assists. You know, when I'm doing the rotations, 48 minutes. Sometimes I will set a minutes for a player, and NBA 2K doesn't honor it, and so it's actually fun to see that Marbury actually played 48 minutes. We're going to try that with Pippen too, by the way. He's going to play 48 minutes for now. That's because the Kings don't have much of a bench. They have B.J. Armstrong. They got Pippen. They got John Williams. They got Arvydas Sabonis and Reggie Lewis. And we already know about the Mavericks. So let's check out this game between the Kings and the Mavericks. Reggie Lewis makes that 3 for Sacramento. And yes, Scottie Pippen is on the Kings. Arvydas Sabonis is still there, and Reggie Lewis is there. And it just feels like, as Arvydas Sabonis makes that 3, the Kings wanted Pippen to make the most out of the rest of this Sabonis era. So that's kind of why that trade was made. Stackhouse makes that 3 for the Mavericks. Sabonis with another 3 early on in this game. It's 9-5. Larry Johnson works the baseline, makes that reverse dunk. And Sabonis, he misses. John Williams with the putback there. Pippen turns around, makes that shot for Sacramento, 13-7. And now here is Sabonis to Pippen for 3, 16-7. It'd be cool to see Pippen and Sabonis finish their careers together with Reggie Lewis. Hopefully they can make some playoff appearances as we see B.J. Armstrong with that basket there. That's also a storyline. B.J. Armstrong reunited with Pippen. So maybe they're friends. Maybe they're friends in this sim, and Pepe wanted to play with his old friend BJ. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with. Mark Price with that jumper there. We are in the fourth quarter, by the way. 86-80 is the score, and Larry Johnson with that basket. Interesting to see Larry Johnson. Feels like he gets the ball more with Grant Hill not there, and I don't know who won that game, by the way. Fuck. You know what I'm just realizing? Shoot. Oh! Wow! What a dumb editing mistake by me. Sabonis makes that shot for the Kings. I'm just gonna leave that in. That's kind of funny, actually. If you're still in this video, by the way, you're a trooper. I appreciate you. 93-82. I know what I did. I know what I did wrong. Because I originally was gonna put the transactions at the end of the video. Then I realized that was stupid, so I put it at the beginning of the video. But then I think I made a bad cut. So a little bit of the transactions page ended up at the end of the video. In the middle of Kings Mavericks highlights. How about that? I don't even know who won. Oh well. We're ending this video with Penny Hardaway on the Clippers, Larry Hughes, Peja Stojakovic, Chris Webber, Vlade Divac, Dana Barros, Bryson Deli, and some other guys. Ricky Berry, still in the league. Yeah, Penny Hardaway. Penny Hardaway is on the Clippers now. And this team is really good. They got a good roster, and they're playing MJ and the Hornets. Let's go. This is the last game of the video. Let's do this. Mashburn. With that bucket and the foul. I'm sorry. I ran out of steam. As we see Penny Hardaway making that basket for the Clippers. And then Peja Stojakovic with his own basket. 6-3. Bryson Dilley's out there. Penny Hardaway receiving the ball. Larry Hughes to Stojakovic for 3. You might ask, why Penny to the Clippers? Why not? I mean, they had the assets to do it. As we see Dele making that basket there for the Clippers. And, there's a couple of reasons. Clippers in L.A., Shaq's in L.A., so you got that angle. And, this is a really good Clippers. This Clippers team has a lot of really good players. A lot of players from the real-life Kings. So adding Penny to the mix and Larry Hughes as a starting 2 guard, this could be a really interesting Clippers team. This is a team that hasn't made it past the first round in this entire sim. So let's see if they can do that now that they have Penny as we jump ahead into the fourth quarter. Or will we? Actually, I don't know if we will. Will we? I think we'll still watch a few things. Yeah, let's just watch. 89-71. Penny Hardaway with a 3 there. I mean, this could be fun. This could be a really, really fun team. This Clippers team. I'm excited about this. Even though Penny's no longer on the Bucks, I know that's kind of sad. But come on, I mean, it was time. Dirk needs to do his own thing in Milwaukee, and Penny needs to do his own thing in LA. So that's what we're gonna be going with. As Vlade Divac receives the pass there in the replay there. Makes the basket. Terry Mills misses. It's 94-71. The Clippers are definitely going to win this game. That's no doubt about that. But let's see if we get another highlight out of this team. Penny Hardaway with the dunk. 96-71. Let's see if we can get more Hardaway. How about some Stojakovic with the jumper there? There we go. Let's see them make 100 points. Let's see that. Terry Mills miss. What a bad shot, but he gets his own rebound and makes the putback there. Inbounds pass. Yeah, we'll stop it when they hit 100. With that layup there you go. That's about it. Final score 108-89. Guys, this season's gonna be awesome. Did I do it? Did I overdo it with the transactions? I don't think so. I think we got a lot of fun teams. It's gonna be a hell of a season. It's MJ's farewell tour. Next video, we're gonna see more MJ games. We're gonna see more T-Mac and Grant Hill and some up-and-coming teams. And so yeah, stay tuned for that. Like and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed already, I guess you just don't like me. That's okay. That's it. Bye.